Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in today's video, we're going to talk about eclectic homeschooling. Now this video is a part of a collaboration hosted by Nina over at Everyday Blessings. So I will link her channel down below, and I'm also going to link the playlist so you can check out all the other mamas who are sharing about eclectic homeschooling. Now, if you've never heard that term, let's just do a little quick lesson. First of all, there are like tons of homeschool styles, just like there are tons of learners and tons of everything. It's really just to put yourself into a category. So eclectic is just one of those many homeschool styles. You're going to hear things like traditional and classical and Charlotte Mason and relaxed and unschoolers, and there are just tons of labels that you can put on yourself if you want to. Now, if I have to put our homeschool into a box or into a label, this would probably be the one that I would choose. The reason why I would choose eclectic is because I pull a little bit from here and there. That means you take a little bit of one style and a little bit of another style, and you mash it all together to make your homeschool style. What I want to say first and foremost is you don't even have to have a style. You really don't. Do what works for you in your home and for your children. That's what I say all the time. You can watch tons of YouTube videos about it and see all kinds of families. You can see all kinds of family styles on Instagram. But when it comes to the end of the day, the most important thing is that you are loving your children and doing what's best for your kiddos, and you don't have to pick a style. But if you want to, you can find tons of information on homeschool styles out there, and we're going to talk all about the eclectic homeschool. So that's the topic for today. So I'm going to talk about what I do in our homeschool, where I pull from, and the kind of homeschool we have. So first of all, let's talk about kind of my inspiration. If you're looking for some inspiration, some homeschool inspiration, or you want to know more about learning, this is where I have gotten my inspiration from. I've shared 2 of these books before, but I'm going to share a new one. Not a new one probably to you, but a new one to me that I'm reading right now. So the first book that really is very inspiring, that talks about making learning letting learning come from a place of passion and interest and not just by the book, is The Brave Learner. If you haven't discovered Julie Bogart, if you're new to the homeschooling world, you need to look up Julie Bogart and Brave Writer, because The Brave Learner is an excellent book. She is so wise. I say this every time I talk about her. You definitely need to check this book out. The next book I loved, absolutely loved. It really opened my eyes to how children and adults really learn, is Sage Homeschooling. I talked about her in my bucket system video, if you want to go check that out, because we use the bucket system. I love Rachel Rainbolt and all she stands for, and how she really has just honed into her kids' natural learning path. So if you're into unschooling or natural learning, this is an excellent read. So I will link all these books down below. The last book that I have been reading, and it's taken me just a little bit longer because it's full of a lot of information, is Free to Learn by Peter Gray. Tons of excellent research that he has done on watching children and watching adults and how they naturally learn. And it's amazing what you'll learn from this book. And I was a public school teacher, and I honestly thought that the only way, you've got to remember, I came from a public school education. I taught public school for 13 years, and I honestly had the public school mindset that the only way children learn is by me telling them what to learn. And my goodness, these books will open your eyes, and when you sit and you think about how you've truly learned things, it's not from sitting in a classroom or sitting down from 8 to 3 every day or doing the most rigorous curriculum. We learn through passion and we learn through necessity, and these 3 books really promote that and show that. So I definitely recommend you picking up at least one of those books to get some inspiration and to kind of learn the research behind how people naturally learn. So those kind of help me on this eclectic homeschool journey of how I pick things. So what do we use in our homeschool? If you're new here, we use Gather Round Homeschool. It is unit studies. Our homeschool, we've tried the traditional stuff. We've tried very traditional curriculum, and it just doesn't work for us. It may work for you, and that is perfectly fine. Like I always say, do what works best for your family. But for us, it did not work. And what we found after about 1.5 years of doing it the wrong way, or the wrong way for us, we found that unit studies just work for us. And so Gather Round is our core curriculum. If you don't know anything about that, you can check out some of my videos. I have tons of them. It's just a unit study approach. It includes all of your subjects except for math, and it's amazing. It works for us. It's laid back enough that my son really enjoys it. It has really taught him how to find information when he really wants to learn something, how to go down those rabbit trails, and how to be a lifelong learner. And in the end, that's what I want for him. Another thing that we use on the line of unit studies is Campfire Curriculums. I do have a couple of videos about that too. Those are elective type unit studies, so they do not claim to be core and to replace your core curriculum, but they are more elective style. We've done their camping unit, and right now we're working on their volcanology unit, and they are just packed full of information. We love it. We love unit studies because we can pick what we're interested in. Not necessarily me, but my son can pick what he's interested in. And when you have buy-in from your children, when they are interested, they are going to learn more. Bottom line. If you think about the way you learn, when you really want to know something, you go all in and you learn it. If it's boring, you may learn it to pass a test and then it's gone. So that's why I love unit studies. Not only do they change and they give us that change that we crave and look forward to, but they are interest-based. Love that. So we do use unit studies. Another thing that we use in our home to go with this eclectic style is Funschooling Journals. That's what this shelf is behind me. It just kind of hangs out in my bedroom, not here in the middle of the floor like it is right now. It hangs out at the side. This has all of our Funschooling journals on it. We have a core journal, we have a space journal, a science journal, a heroes and villains of history journal. There are tons of journals you can pick from. You can find them on Amazon or on the Thinking Tree website. So many journals. I have some flip throughs of those on my channel if you want to check them out. And this shelf right here, now we have other bookshelves that have all kinds of books on them, but this right here is more of like a resource. If you need a resource book, this is where you come, and we keep our Funschooling journals right here. So those are the things that we tend to pull from. We pull from the unit study, Funschooling approach. That's kind of how we roll here at our house. Let me look at my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything. So yes, I told you about unit studies and Funschooling. Yeah, and books. So that's what we do. That is our eclectic style. But again, I want to leave with you the idea that you don't have to pick a style. You don't have to put a label on yourself. Do what works for you. And you know what? That may look different from day to day. Some days we are complete child-led learners, and that's okay. And some days we're relaxed. It's really just whatever works. Whatever works for us. You find what works for you. Let me know. If you do put a label on your homeschool, let me know what style you are or what kind of things do you pull together. Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to check out that playlist. Check out Nina's channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.